like that, maybe not so bad, all over this country. These are issues of inequality that as a nation we have got to address. You know, one of the issues that I talk about a whole lot and is directly related to poverty, directly related to unemployment, is the fact that we have a broken criminal justice system. What this campaign is asking all of you is to think outside of the box, think outside of the status quo, think beyond the options that corporate television allow you to envision. Think about why people in McDowell County died at a significantly lower age than people in wealthier communities. Think about why it is that in city after city in America, we have youth unemployment levels of 40, 50, 60%. And that relates to an international embarrassment that we have more people in jail than any other country on earth.
Boo!
This is the United States of America. We should have the best educated people. Now this campaign is going to win because we are doing something unusual. We are talking to the American people and not just the wealthy campaign contributors. Truths that all of us have to address. Truth number one is that we have a corrupt campaign finance system that is think outside of the box. What does democracy mean? It is not a complicated concept. It means that you have a vote, you have a vote, you have a vote, majority wins. Democracy does not mean that the Koch brothers and a few other billionaires can spend hundreds of millions of dollars to buy elections. My friends, that is called oligarchy. And if we do not turn things around, we will increasingly see an economy and a government run by a handful of billionaires, and together we will not allow that to happen. Not just a corrupt campaign finance system that we're going to have to address. It is a rigged economy. And this is what a rigged economy means. It means today, listen to this. This is really pretty unbelievable. The top 1/10 of 1%, not 1%, 1/10 of 1%, now owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. In America today, the wealthiest 20 people own more wealth than the bottom half of America, 150 million people. one family, the Walton family of Walmart, one family owns more wealth than the bottom 40% of the American people. And you know what I say? I say enough is enough. Distribution of wealth, it is income as well. Again, I want to say this to the young people who may not believe me, and I want you to check it out, Google it after you get out of here, not now.
We believe you, Brody!
But here is the fact. 40 years ago, before the explosion of technology, before the cell phones and the space age technology, before the global economy, it was possible in America for one person, one breadwinner, to earn enough money to take care of the entire family. One breadwinner could earn enough money to take care of the entire family. Well, then you got the whole global economy, all of the technology. You know what happens today? Mom is not working, dad is not working, the kids are not working, and they have less disposable income than a one breadwinner family had 40 years ago. Something is wrong with our family. In America today, in Vermont, West Virginia, you got people working not one job, they're working 2 jobs, they're working 3 jobs. You got people working longer hours or lower wages. We are going to create an economy that protects the needs of our workers, our children, our seniors, our veterans, all of the people of this country, and not just the 1%. Let me give you an example of some of what we have got to do. Number one, in America, if you work 40 hours a week, you should not be living in poverty. We're going to raise the minimum wage to 15 bucks an hour will mean that millions of people will be able to support their families with the kind of dignity and security that they do not have today. When we talk about equitable wages, we're going to end the absurdity of women making 79 cents on the dollar. I know that every man here will join the women in the fight for pay equity. Unemployment rates throughout this country are extremely high, especially in urban areas and in rural areas. And when people are not making enough income to take care of their family, it is a no-brainer to suggest we need a massive federal jobs program to put our people back on. West Virginia and all over this country, our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, our water systems, our wastewater plants, our rail system, our airports, our levees and dams are in massive disrepair. We can create 13 million jobs with $1 trillion. That's a nice idea. Yeah, our infrastructure is crumbling. You're right, Bernie, but how are you going to pay for it? I will tell you how we're going to pay for it. Right now, we have a corrupt federal tax system which allows major corporations who make billions of dollars a year in profit to stash their profits in the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, and in other tax havens. We're going to end that tax loophole. $100 billion a year we invest in the infrastructure. Talk about the economy, we've got to talk about something that media almost never talks about. It's not a sexy issue, but an enormously important issue, and that is our disastrous trade policies. Let me tell the young people something they may not know. And that is, there was actually once a time, not so many years ago, when you could go to a department store and buy products manufactured in the United States of America. But as a result of trade policies like NAFTA and permanent normal trade relations with China, policies written by corporate America, what happened is companies shut down plants in Vermont, West Virginia, and all over this country. They said, why do I want to pay somebody here 15, 20 bucks an hour when I can go to China, Mexico, pay people pennies an hour? That's what they did. As a result of these terrible trade agreements, we have lost millions of decent paying jobs. Millions. The big differences between Secretary Clinton and myself, she supported virtually every one of these disastrous trade agreements. And our message to corporate America is, you want us to buy the products you make these damn products here in West Virginia. Listening to people whose voices are not often heard. And one of the groups of people that I have been very proud to listen to all over this country is young people. You know, it's a funny thing, when we began this campaign, the general attitude of the punditry and political scientists were, well, young people, you know, they're not really interested in government, they're not interested in politics. They're too busy with their video games or whatever else they do. Well, it turns out that the young people in this country are a lot smaller than many of the pundits were. They are the future of this country, and they want to help shape that future. Young people understand that there is something profoundly wrong when in this country today, the young generation may be the first generation in modern history of America to have a lower standard of living than their parents. My father came to this country at the age of 17 with no money. He never made any money, but he worked hard, my mom worked hard, and their dream was that their kids, my brother and I, would be financially better off than they were. That is called the American dream that millions of American families have experienced. Parents work hard so their kids can do better than they. And together, that American dream not allow to die. There's another issue out there that young people all over the country talk to me about. They say, you know, Bernie, we did what our parents told us to do, what our teachers told us to do, what our community told us to do, and that is go out and get the best education that we can. Because we all understand that learning in education is inherent in who we are as human beings. And that also for our country to do well in the future, we need the best educated workforce in the world. Millions of young people did the right thing. They went to college. But then what happened is they left school $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in debt. Who are paying off that debt for decades. They can't afford to buy a car, buy a house, get married, have kids, because they're paying off that debt. For what crime did they commit? For getting an education? That is nuts! The likelihood was that you were able to go out and get a halfway decent job and make it into the middle class with a high school degree. But the world has changed, the economy has changed, technology has changed. People today need more education than they did 50 years ago. Outside of the box, outside of the status quo, leads you to a very simple conclusion. 50 years ago, it was great that we had free public education from first grade to 12th grade. That was great. But the world has changed, and when we talk about public education today, it must mean making public colleges and universities tuition free. Countries like Germany already in Scandinavia. They understand that investing in their young people is investing in the future of their country.